is up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com, and welcome back to another one of our previews. Well, it's one of my favorite races of the year, coming up Saturday, August 24th, race 13 on the Saratoga card. Of course, it is the Travers Stakes. It is the race we've all been waiting for. Grade 1 race, going a mile and a quarter for $1.25 million. Field of 8, and of course, Thorpedo Anna versus Fierceness, versus Fierceness and versus Dornoch as well. The best 3-year-old female currently versus the best 3-year-old male currently. Thorpedo Anna and Dornoch. We'll see what happens. Field of 8. All right, there's 4 that I wouldn't shock me at all if they won, and there's 4 that would really shock me if they won. Let's go through them one by one, and I'll kind of identify them as we go. From the rail out, number 1, Thorpedo Anna's we will start with, and this would obviously not shock me at all if she got the job done. We're talking about a filly that has won 4 races in a row here in her 3-year-old season, winning the Grade 2 Fantasy off of a long layoff, then winning the Kentucky Oaks, the Acorn, and the Coaching Club American Oaks. She won those races by 4 lengths, 4 3/4 lengths, 5.5, and 4.5. Pretty damn solid. What a resume that this horse has kind of put together. And look, I know there's going to be some talk about what has this horse beat. You know, she's been facing the fillies. And look, I think what you can say is she's been beating some pretty good fillies. How do they match up against the boys? I'm not quite sure, but you know, she beat Power Squeeze in the Acorn by multiple lengths. She came back to win her last 2 races, including the Grade 1 Alabama last time out. You know, last time out, she beat Candied, who lost the Alabama by a nose, to Power Squeeze. So, you know, she's beaten the horses in front of her, and those horses in front of her have been the best horses in the 3-year-old crop. So it's not like she's kind of been facing horses at lower levels and stuff like that. I mean, she's been running at the Grade 2 and Grade 1 level, and she's been winning very easily. So, look, she hasn't beaten horses like Dornoch, Sierra Leone Fierceness. She hasn't faced horses like Dornoch, Sierra Leone Fierceness. She hasn't given that opportunity to do so. So she has been beating horses that have been coming back to win, and she's been on another zip code as them. So, to me, I think she's good enough. You look at the speed figures, some figures that you'll look at have her a little bit ahead of the boys, and then some will have a little bit behind the boys. But it's close either way. She's in the realm, according to the speed figures. According to the eye test, she passes that as well. So she comes in with a huge, huge chance. Number 2 is Sierra Leone, and this is a horse that is just a very classy individual. 7 races, hit the board in all 7, has won 3 of those 7. Has not won since the Bluegrass, though. If you remember, kicked off the season winning at the Risen Star at Fairgrounds and then winning the Bluegrass. 2nd by a nose in a heartbreaking Kentucky Derby. 3rd, beating a length and a half in what I thought was not a great performance in the Belmont. I thought last time out in the Jim Dandy, he was 2nd, beaten a length by Fierceness. I thought it was his best race of his career. And you might think, well, it was a loss by a length, and it never really looked like he was going to get there. All true, but I think we kind of knew going in, if Fierceness fired like his A race, Sierra Leone's not going to catch a horse like that. And, he made up ground on him. He was trying. He still was never going to catch him, but I thought it was a solid race. And I just kind of feel like today, or I should say Saturday, drawing the rail, or pretty much, because Thorpedo Anna is going to outbreak him, so he's going to hug that rail. They kind of showed last time, hey, he runs better hugging the rail because he's not lugging in, right? So he might just hug that inside and try to go out it that way. I think he's in with a big shot here. The problem is they're going to have to come back to him. We know that. He's not going to catch a fresh Thorpedo Anna, a fresh Dornoch, or a Fierceness that is fresh and runs, that race that he ran last time, or he's capable of running. Sierra Leone simply does not have what it takes early in the race to catch those horses. He's left with way too much to do. They've got to come back to him. If they slow down considerably in the stretch, this is your winner. I have a hard time thinking all 3 of those horses that I just mentioned are going to all 3 be slowing down, and that's where my problem becomes with him. However, I will say I would not be shocked if he wins, because he's been there, he's been close, he's classy. It just kind of feels like he's going to need a lot of help up front, and one of those 3 that I mentioned are going to beat him. But still, I would not be shocked if he wins. One horse I would be shocked if the horse wins is the number 3, Unmatched Wisdom. He's an undefeated 3 for 3. You have to give him credit for that. But he really hasn't faced much. And I thought his race last time out in the Curlin, although it was a win, it wasn't overly impressive. And we kind of talked about hey, Thorpedo Anna hasn't beaten much. Well, she's probably beaten a little bit better horses than what Unmatched Wisdom has beaten. She's also earned speed figures that are a little bit better. I think Unmatched Wisdom's a nice horse. I just don't think he's up to this level quite yet. But look, Irad Ortiz jumps aboard. We kind of know, look, he kind of owns this track, right? He's doing a good job. Of course, Flavian Pratt was on him, and he chose Sierra Leone, so that's a negative. But look, a good replacement jockey, so to speak, and Unmatched Wisdom. He should be part of the pace, I would think. He has been his first 2 starts, so we'll see kind of how that rolls along. All right, number 4 is Corporate Power, another one that I'd be shocked if he is able to get the job done here. He was second to Unmatched Wisdom last time out. I kind of view these 2 horses as the same. Good horses that have been beating or finishing close to beating, the level below. Neither one of them really have a race to jump out and tells me now they're ready to go win the Grade 1 Travers. So kind of the same thing. Would be pretty surprised if the 4 Corporate Power wins. The 5 Batten Down, another one I'd be pretty surprised if he gets the job done. 3, the 4, the 5. Don't they all kind of look similar-ish? Batten Down has the best win out of the 3 because Batten Down was able to win the Grade 3 Ohio Derby. But you kind of just look at some of the other races. It's like in the Jim Dandy, the horse just couldn't, really compete. Got beat 6 3/4. It was a 2-horse race, and he was the 3rd best in that one. But this is a tougher spot. And how's he even going to turn the corner or turn the tables on the 2 horses in the Jim Dandy, let alone now Thorpedo Anna and Dornoch? So I think he's a nice horse. I just don't think he's up to this level. He's just a cut below, I think, this Grade 1 Travers level. Number 6 is Honor Marie. This is a horse that class isn't a huge problem. We've seen him in Grade 2 and Grade 1 races. But what the flip side is, he just hasn't been able to win one of these big races. He was a winner of the Kentucky Jockey Club as a 2-year-old. That was a Grade 2 event. And then as a 3-year-old, 5th in the Risen Star, improved greatly, but finished 2nd in the Louisiana Derby, 8th in the Kentucky Derby, and then 4th in the Belmont. The problem with the 4th place finish in the Belmont, he really wasn't threatening. Kentucky Derby, he never threatened. Louisiana Derby, you never really thought he was going to get there, but that was definitely his best race. And then Risen Star never threatened. I just don't see it here. Good horse, deserves to be here. You want to blow up the tries with this 20-1 horse? I wouldn't be shocked if he hits the board, but I would be shocked if he wins. So 3, 4, 5, and 6 would be pretty surprising to me. The number 7 is Dornoch. Obviously, no surprise here if he gets the job done. And he's looking to put his name in the Hall of Fame if he wins this one, which is, you might think, well, that's kind of crazy to think about it, but look at the resume. The horse won the Rimson, the Fountain of Youth, the Belmont, the Haskell. If he also can add the Travers to that list, he's a Hall of Fame horse. That is an incredible resume. And look, it is super, super tough to win the Haskell and the Travers. We cover this every single year. Very, very few horses have done it. The last time it happened was Point Given way back in the day. So look, you might not on the surface think, boy, Haskell, then Travers, that doesn't sound all that difficult. It's difficult. Now, again, we saw some horses that won the Haskell and came up here and was just awful. We've also seen some horses come up here and run second, like a Cyberknife that comes to mind, immediately to me is like a horse that won the Haskell, came up here and ran second, ran well, just couldn't quite get it done, So it's not a death sentence by any means, but this is a very tall task. And when you also add in, the horse will have to win the Belmont, Haskell, and the Travers, all 3 in a row. This is tough. This is not Triple Crown tough because there's, reasonable spacing between all 3 of the races. This is damn tough to do. I don't know that I can sit here and think that Dornoch is a horse that can do it, but I will tell you his last 2 races, if he can repeat those efforts, he's going to be tough. He has already proven he is stubborn and he is tough to pass. And even when he gets past, it's not over. He got past in the Haskell. He came back and won. He got past way back as a 2-year-old in the Rimson. He came back and won. So I can't discount him anymore. I discounted him in the Belmont Stakes, and I think that was reasonable. I still didn't think he'd win the Haskell. He kind of pulled away at the Haskell as well. So I think he's in with a big shot. The one thing I will say, he seems to be a little one-dimensional. He better get the lead. When he hasn't gotten the lead, he hasn't ran extremely well on or near the lead, I should say. So, if he has to have that lead and they go really fast, maybe they back up. But, they went pretty quick in the Belmont Stakes. He was able to stick around. So I think he's going to be very, very difficult to beat in here if he runs that race again. But it's just, hey, a matter of can he do it for the third straight time. And then finally, number 8 is Fierceness. Would not be shocked if he wins, but I think a lot of people are looking at it and go, look, it's an every other thing now with this horse. He ran the big race last time. He's ready to bounce this time. Also, right after the race, Todd Pletcher was like, yeah, I don't really want to run. And Travers, we're going to go to the Pennsylvania Derby. And we all kind of laughed and said, well, Mike Rapoli is going to run in the Travers. So good luck with that argument. But anyway, he's here. Look, I just, the way I approach this horse from now until he's retired, play him on your multi-race tickets. Don't play him to win, or single him, because you can't really rely on him. But you also know that if he's at his best, he'll be very tough to beat. So I thought the interview before the Travers with Johnny Velasquez was superb. Really, really good. Before the Jim Dandy, I should say, before the Jim Dandy was really good. Full disclosure, I picked Sierra Leone in that race. They interviewed Johnny V right before the Jim Dandy, and he said, look, I have no idea why he shows up with horrible races. Like, we don't know, but he said the one thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to let him do whatever the hell he wants in this race. If he wants to fly out there, I'm going to let him. If he wants to sit third, I'm going to let him. I'm just going to not touch him and let him do what he wants, and then I'm going to ask him to go when I need him to go, and we'll see what happens. And so I thought, right then, I thought, I have the wrong horse. He was super confident that he was just like, hey, some horses just let him do what they want. That's what he did. He just let him break. He let him put himself in position. He kept him out away from everybody. In the stretch, he kind of kept him out wide, trying to keep him away from Sierra Leone, and it worked out. And I don't know if he's just figured it out. Probably not. But to me, it was the most honest kind of assessment from a jockey that you could hear of, like, hey, don't know what's going on. I'm just going to let him do his thing. I'm going to keep him out of trouble, keep him away from everybody, and we'll see what he does. I mean, if he runs that kind of race again, he's in with a big shot. But again, if you don't want to be confident or back him in this situation thinking, well, he's never ran 2 good races in a row, well, I don't blame you. And I think he's going to run poorly just off the pattern. And the fact that Pletcher didn't seem real happy right after the race about taking him to the Travers. So kind of you would think that, but maybe Johnny V's kind of found a little bit of a secret, and maybe he'll be fine. It's just kind of a just in case horse for me. Throw him on a multi, don't play him to win type of situation. All right, that's a field of 8 there. That is the full field. Man, what a race. I cannot wait for this on Saturday. It's going to be a blast. I'm going to go with the filly to win it. I'm going to go number 1, Thorpedo Anna, to win it. She's the one that I could poke the least amount of holes in when it came to the top 4 horses. So I considered Thorpedo Anna, Sierra Leone, Dornoch, and Fierceness. Those are the 4 I considered to put to win. Sierra Leone, you talk about him again. I just feel like his path to victory is the toughest out of the 4, because he gets so far behind, and he is just proven over and over and over again he cannot get closer. So he just needs too much to break right for him, and that's why I just couldn't put him on top. I wouldn't be shocked if he wins, but I just don't feel like he's going to be able to be tactical enough, and I don't think all the big stars are going to fall back. And so I just couldn't support him. The 7, Dornoch, it just kind of feels like to me, maybe this is the race you jump off of him. Of course, I haven't been on him either of the 2, so hell, he might beat me to win again for the 3rd time. I'm definitely going to put him on a ticket. It just kind of feels like, man, this is a tough ask to show up with that big race again. He's also the hunted now instead of the hunter, and I think every horse of the race is going to be aware where he's at, maybe not let him have that easy trip of it. So, the 7, Dornoch, obviously a horse with a big shot, but just kind of feels like he's a little maybe ready to kind of regress just a bit. Maybe a little one-dimensional too. If that speed does really get going, he could get burned out. And then the 8, Fierceness, I just couldn't trust. And I don't really think I need to explain it. It's just one of those situations. You just never know what he's going to do. So then again, you flip back to Thorpedo Anna. If they don't go fast, she can take the lead. If they go fast, she can sit off the pace. If she breaks poorly, she can still win. You saw that last time out. I think she's the most versatile. I think she's right there talent-wise with these. And I think just the only question mark with her is like, okay, can you step your game up just a bit? She doesn't have to step up a lot, just a bit. Look, she's just been in cruise control. I just think logically, if you ask her for a little more, there should be more there for her to give. Sometimes horses that are on cruise control and then they get challenged and they back off and they don't run quite as well. That could happen on Saturday, but I kind of feel like she's coming into the race just perfect. So I'm going to take the filly to win the Travers. Give me number one, Thorpedo Anna, to win the 2024 Travers. All right, guys. Thanks everybody for watching this video. Hit that like button if you like it. Hit subscribe. You really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. We've got a lot going on the website. The Travers Betting Bible will be out soon. Make sure to go pre-order that now. And look, for any premium products you need, go over to that page, the handicapping products page there at racingdudes.com. All right. Thanks everybody for watching and good luck if you're playing Saratoga on Saturday.